My name is Jenny Carrington. As you know, I am the CEO of GTI Enterprises, as we are Mother Earth. And today I'm so excited to have a young entrepreneur, and I call him young because we're around the same age and I like to think I'm still young, from Nigeria, who is the CEO and founder of a agricultural mentorship company that is releasing a reality television show. The show, called Agrovest, is going to take place in Nigeria, and our CEO, Emmanuel, is going to come on today to tell us a little bit about what we have to look forward to. Emmanuel, why don't you come on and join us?
Thank you so much, Jenny, for having me with you today.
I'm thrilled to have you on, and I want you to just tell everybody a little bit about who you are, first and last name, where you're from in Nigeria, a little bit about what it's like there, because I mean, I've never been. I'm thinking most of the people watching have never been to Nigeria. So why don't you just set the stage for us a little bit?
All right. My name is Emmanuel Avocet. I'm a Nigerian, a division of innovation strategist, a media facilitator, and agro-entrepreneur with over a decade work experience in agribusiness. My father is a farmer.
My name is Julius Waye Abu. My occupation is farming. I started my farming in 2002 to date, which is now 19 years farming.
I would say 80% of the population in Nigeria have something to do with agriculture. It's either you're producing, you're doing crop production, or you're into animal production. So I grew up also in a house where my father is a farmer, and after my studies, I saw the vast opportunity in agriculture, and I joined him to explore.
Thank God today that being as the father of Emmanuel Abuso, this is Abu that is working now. Thank God for his life. Very obedient and humble side. We do play together. Deal with me. Nothing like stubbornness.
And it has been wonderful doing agribusiness in Nigeria. It's a country with vast opportunity, over 50% arable land, with over 200 million Nigerians. However, the opportunity in agriculture is yet to be untapped due to low interest of young people to participate in agriculture. And that was why I founded my organization, where we can engage young people to see agriculture as the potential in agriculture, and also participate in agribusiness. Because we believe that we can feed Africa. Nigeria can feed Africa. We have the vast land, we have the human resources, and if these two can be properly harnessed, Africa can feed itself. And that was how we started the agribusiness mentorship platform, where we can encourage young people to participate in agriculture.
Awesome. And you have a PhD, right?
Yes.
What is your PhD in?
In geopsychology.
Awesome.
The psychology of the earth.
Grown up and then start earlier his education year in 1996 as primary nursery primary school at Lagos, and then we back home by the grace of God continue, because when I back home continue his primary school at the demonstration primary school, and that is where he obtained his first school certificate, and then start his secondary school at the ICC in KJ, and then end up, and then by special grace of God was admitted to UBA Ahmad Bello University, and that is where he obtained his first degree. We thank God today that being as a farmer, I told him earlier, and then by God's grace today, what I told him is now what he's doing, because food is life. and that's why I told him to join me, and then he get the standard as a farmer.
So just describe for me a little bit about where you live. You know, you grew up on a farm. Do you still live near your parents, or is it like a farm that's in a village that's near a city? Do you frequently go to the city? Just describe for me kind of what it's like where you are.
Okay, I stay in a semi-urban area while my parents are still in the village, in the rural settlement of Kogi State. And from where I live to my village is like it's for approximately 3 hours traveling by road. Our state, there are no airports, so we do more of road transportation to where my father lives, and that is where most of the major farming activities take place. However, the reason why most of us cannot settle down there is there are no internet facilities. In fact, some of those villages have no network connection, so you cannot make phone calls. And sometimes if you want to make call, you have to go look for a mountain or get closer to any village close to you that have internet or network facility for you to be able to make phone calls. So what's happening in the village is there is a place the farming take place. So after farming, we move the products from there to the city to sell for sales. So you have the off-takers sometimes to come to the village to off-take directly from the farmers. However, that does not give the farmers profit because they come to the farmers at the beginning of harvest, and because the farmers there don't have a storage facility to store some of those products, so they have to sell it at the giveaway price. So in fact, some of them are even forced to sell it at the ridiculous price. So all they want to do is to sell it off so it does not get spoiled at their end. And again, we have a very high level of post-harvest loss with these farmers. So they are forced to sell it off to help them continue in the business. And that's why we have over 70% of these rural farmers are still very poor, even when there is a vast opportunity in the agri-business. So these off-takers, after they take it from them, they store them, then when it is scarce, they sell it back. And sometimes even these farmers cannot even afford to buy it again because the price sometimes that's tripled, sometimes that doubled, and so they are forced to buy at the price that most of them cannot afford it. So and the cycle continue. So the cycle continue like that.
What are the main top 3 crops in the area in Nigeria where you're in, and where the young agropreneurs on the show, which we'll get to, might be working with? Top 3.
Okay, top 3. We have cassava, we have rice, and we have sesame seed.
Cassava, rice, and sesame. And is there wealth in the cities? Are there wealthy Nigerians in the cities, or is the whole nation state relatively poor? How does that look?
Okay, the poverty in Nigeria is over 70 to 80% living below $2 in a day. The poverty rate is very, very high, very high. Like where I come from, oil palm is another. Oil palm does very good there. In fact, the quality of the oil palm there is very high in Nigeria. That is from my village, my local government, Olamaboro, Kogi East is known with oil palm. But because of the nature of poverty, there are no facilities for processing to make it standard. So in Nigeria, we still import oil from Malaysia to Nigeria, even when we have the land, we have the people, but the money to set up a decent mini factory is not even available to process this thing. So we don't have processing plants. So we just have people who farm, and look at any little way or any way to sell them off.
So how did you end up getting to university? If you grew up in a farm family, were you on scholarship? Did you leave Nigeria? How did you end up being able to afford to go to university?
Okay, the foreign universities in Nigeria are relatively cheaper to attend to if you can get the admission into the universities. So what I was doing is I would farm with my parents, process some of, especially cassava. That's what we call cassava flake, which is gari. Gari is one of the most popular meal in Nigeria. Everybody can afford it. You just need the gari and sugar, even though it's not that healthy, but it's like an alternative to sustain you. So I process it, I package them and take them to school. And on campus, many students can afford it because I said it's one of the most cheapest food commodity in Nigeria. So I sell it to my roommates. I'm getting like a marketer. So I process and take to school. I sell and I'm able to sustain. And the reason why universities are on strike in Nigeria now, I think for the past 6 months, students are out of school, federal universities in Nigeria, because of the inability of government to sustain, to fund the university academic program, like the subsidy and all of that.
Wow. So it sounds like you were actually a young agro entrepreneur, even moving through university, which is incredible. So speaking of, let's get to a little bit about the show. So you took an interest in media. Was this at a young age? Did you like watching TV? How did you decide to mix farming and TV?
TV, all right. When I was growing up, we grew up watching TV because my parents had to go to work, and he go to farm as early as 5 a.m. in the morning when we're still on bed. So by the time we wake up, me and my sibling, by the time we wake up, my dad is not around. He has gone out. My mom also is not around. So when we return back from school, the only thing that was there to guide us was the movie we were exposed to. So I grew up wanting to be on screen, wanting to be on TV. So I started having interest in the media. However, my parents don't like the media. They felt like when you're on TV, you're going to be wayward. They want to raise a decent child. They want to raise a decent son. So they started killing the interest. So I started with urban and regional planning at my first degree. So in my 4th year in university, I told myself, like, I want to go back to the media. So I did a change of course from urban and regional planning to mass communication to start all over again the mass media. So after graduating, I came back. Like I said, to even get a job was quite difficult. So I went home one day. I saw my father. I was like, I think I can do this better. I am educated. My dad is not educated. Let me see how I can integrate my education to the farming business and see how it can be better off. And again, I never wanted to be. I never wanted to get into agriculture because of the level of poverty. It's like the sector was producing. So I see my father farm more than 30 years, 32 years, and there's nothing apparently that you can tie to him like, okay, this is like, except that we can feed ourselves. Like we get to the farm, we get the food, we eat. So there was nothing more. So I wanted more. I'm quite ambitious. Like I wanted more. Like there must be more to life and all of that. So coming back, and I discovered that, okay, let me see how I can integrate my education to agriculture. And I found a perfect match, which was Agrovest. How can you be on TV, pitch a good idea to people, to show the beauty of agriculture? And again, that is the reason why many young people are not interested in agriculture, is some of this constraint to challenge to get funding, marketing, mentorship, access to land as a young man. When you look at the cost,
or woman, young man or woman.
Oh yes, young man or a woman. Yeah. As young people, as youth, and again, even when women also who are into agriculture, many of them don't have access to land because land ownership is more masculine in Nigeria. So if you're a woman, they'll believe you're going to get married, so your family don't want to give you a land portion. The family you get married into, sometimes they don't want to give you access to land because they believe you're a woman, and your husband, whatever is for your husband, it's also psychologically for you. So the women are more handicapped, and that was why our focus in Agrovest, the Trema Agro Services Limited, is directed to women and youths.
I love that. I love that. So I'm probably going to share at this point your promo. And so I'll get people to be able to watch that real quick, and then we'll come back and reconnect with you in just a moment.
All right. Thank you so much.
So that's extremely exciting that you're going to run a TV show for young people interested in farming and basically make farming cool, to put it another way, right? Because in America, I don't know about in Nigeria, but farming is cool in the Midwest where you're in a farm family. But if you live on the coast, it's like, you know, you want to eat vegan and you want to eat farm to table, but you don't actually want to be a farmer. So I think that's part of the problem in America, is that the actual farmers who are making the food are not really talking to the people who are eating it, right? So I would love to see some young agripreneurs on Agrovest talking about, you know, hospitality and the food industry too. And I'm glad that some of your crops are rice and sort of, you know, edible crops, but there's also herbs and different, you know, hemp and lots of different avenues these agripreneurs can get into. So what is going to be the process when they come on the show? What are they going to learn? What are they going to walk away with?
Okay, so the show is meant to run for 60 days, which is approximately 8 weeks. And every day we have different tasks in the agro sector. Now, what we're trying to look at is from crop production, animal production, processing, from farm to table. That is what we're trying to look at. We're looking at logistics. Like I said, like we have over 20 to 40 post-harvest loss. So it's quite huge.
20 to 40% harvest lost.
Yes.
From farm to table, with increased price margins, but decreased profit margins because of so many middlemen and transportation costs, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we're going to look at how do we integrate logistics. So the whole value chain in agriculture. So we're bringing different types in agriculture. We're looking at marketing. How as a young person, how do you market your product? We're looking at sales. So we're looking at all the value chain in agriculture, and every day we are looking at different crops, how to farm them, their production. Because our Nigeria is quite blessed, like I said, with arable land, and over almost all the crops do well in Nigeria. Though there are some areas that are far better. The states in Nigeria are quite blessed that most crops can do well there. So we're looking at all this crop production. Wheat, the current price in the global market for wheat is getting higher, and we have land that can do this. Then we have different, like I said, we have different tasks looking at different opportunities in the agro business. So the young participant will be given different tasks every day to participate, and in this process, participants with lowest performance will be evicted to make the show quite competitive. And we're going to keep doing that to the last day. And the last week, from day 1 to the last day, is about pitch school. Those are your beautiful ideas. How do you want to, the winning prize, which is $50,000, approximately 20 to 30 million naira in Nigerian currency. The $50,000 is the winning prize. So we want to look at, once we hear you how you're going to invest it, how you're going to create more opportunities for other young agro entrepreneurs just like you. How do you want to set up your business? What is the profit margin and all of that? It's going to be a big school for the participant.
Even the day of inauguration of the program of the Agrovest TV show. I was there and with the people that inaugurated. Thank God that his life today, he is now married with one child, which he was blessed with one daughter. Thank God for his life that we are still moving and the very humble obedience with the family, both his junior brothers.
And this is going to run for all the day. And one of the attacks again we're looking at is the Fulani herdsmen and farmers clash conflict in Nigeria. It's becoming quite terrible. Pig farmers are afraid to farm because herders will go destroy their farm. And let me give you a quick example. It's been a conflict that has been occurring, and farmers have been losing their lives. Farmers are losing their life. Even herdsmen are also losing their life. However, Nigeria is still producing 0.01% dairy products globally. So when you compare Nigeria to a country like New Zealand, that's producing over 30% dairy products, with over 5 million population in New Zealand, and Nigeria with over 200 million, and our population, our land, we are still producing 0.01 global dairy products. I'm importing over $1 billion dairy products in Nigeria.
Wow.
The clash is not making the farmers to farm. The farmers and the herders are having clashes, and the farming is not. Farmers are not interested to go into farming because even let me say, for example, I have a personal experience. I collected a loan from a microfinance bank after farming cassava. Herdsmen with their cattle came to destroy my farm, and there was nothing I could do. I went to report it to the police, and I was just asked to forget about it, and that was how I lost my money. I wasted my time. There was nothing.
What is the motivation behind that? What is in it for them to destroy the farm?
Because they're not educated. I went to start studying why this. Because they're not educated, they allow their cattle to roam around for feed, and those cattle are not humans, so they don't know which one is crop, which one is grass. They just feast on these things, and because they are lazy to provide them food, the herders now, they don't want to provide them food. They don't want to go through the stress of producing feed for their cattle, so they lynch them on farms. And this is the clash between the farmers and the herders.
Okay, so here's my next question. This makes a lot of sense. So you're having some conflict between the farmers and the herders, the ranchers. Whoosh. Yeah. Okay. So right, because there's lots. We use farms so generally, but there's cattle ranchers, there's crop farmers, there's dairy farmers, right? There's lots of different sectors within the agricultural industry, and that I found that when I walked across America too. I've met lots of different people who had different types of farms. Yeah. So my question to you is this: what this is making me think is about conflict versus collaboration. Yeah. And if there's any industry where we want to see collaboration thrive, I think it's in our farm to table industry, right? Because if collaboration isn't thriving in our food industry, we might not eat. And the reality of famine is closer than I think most people in America want to believe. And so I'm curious, because I think when we get nervous about the future of our own ability to eat or take care of our family, it's very hard to imagine supporting other families from across the world. So I have people all over America who are farmers and ranchers who I want to introduce you to. And I think that one thing they're going to say to me is, well, that's wonderful. Good on him, and we support him. But why should we help someone all the way in Nigeria when we're not even getting our own help for our own farms in America? What would your answer? You're a PhD and you understand the value of the supply chain and what we're doing beyond just this one TV show, the mentorship, the youth. and really creating systems of collaboration. So what would you say to those folks? How could supporting Agrovest in Nigeria help create a culture in America for agro mentorship and supporting youth and women?
Okay. Now, when we talk about mentorship, like the ranchers and the farmers clash, this is a business that is happening in America, and the conflict, there's no conflict compared to that of in Nigeria. And one of the things we lack here is mentorship, which when that is provided, the aid US will give to Nigeria, like the US aid, it's going to reduce drastically because the people can feed themselves. Now, instead of providing aids, now we are showing the people how to become responsible for themselves, how to collaborate, how can farmers and the cattle rearers collaborate to live more harmony, just like in US. Now, number two, in Africa, before now, one of the products we export the most before the discovery of oil was agro products, granite, maize, wheat, and all of that. We're talking about a global food crisis, and Africa can also play its role if farmers here are trained in the best agro practice. For example, in cassava production in Nigeria, 1 hectare of cassava will give you 20 tons. While in Tanzania, 1 hectare will give you 30 to 40 tons because of the way they practice agriculture there. So here we farm more, not because we know how to, but because like it's a necessity. So we farm with our local experience. Agricultural extension services is very low here. So the farmer use crude knowledge to farm. So the support we are going to be getting from US for this Agrovest will help us to increase productivity. Matter of fact, we're trying to see how we can increase productivity, farmers' productivity by 40% before the end of 2025, which will increase our production and also reduce the poverty rate here, the food crisis in Nigeria, and also encourage productivity. We are trying to collaborate with Export and Import Academy of Nigeria to see how we can start looking at other non-oil sector exportation, and agriculture in Africa is the big part of it. So we can also feed the world. Like I said, Africa has the capacity to feed the world. The war in Ukraine, in Russia, we can feed the world if we have the basic technology, the basic skills. And Nigeria, America is good in technology. So the collaboration here comes to be technology. We farm manually here with manpower. So the use of tractor is quite expensive. The land tillers. So we can collaborate technology-wise. We can collaborate with US, which is going to also be smooth. We get the technology, we do the farming, we can feed the world.
I love that. Yeah. So I'm hoping to connect some young farmers in America, in Middle America, who want to sort of remember the days of having a pen pal. Maybe before the internet, I always wanted a pen pal. I would love to see some young agripreneurs in Nigeria be communicating through We Are Mother Earth to have pen pals, to communicate, and we can set up Zoom meetings or groups for these folks to learn from one another, and to extend that support both ways, because I bet there's a lot of local practices that Nigerian farmers have around crop production and doing things manually, or specific crops that I'm sure the US can benefit from, or those kids can benefit from as well. So I look forward to brainstorming more about what that might look like. And I know that your Agrovest is going to be running webinars weekly. So why don't you just, as a closing, tell us a little bit about those webinars, what people can expect if they sign up, and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
All right. Our webinar is targeting agro entrepreneurs, which are our major target. How to finance their business. Basically, like I've been mentioning, one of the challenges young people don't want to participate in agriculture is how to even get the seed capital, how to get funding for the business. So we are creating platforms to learn alternative ways of raising funds for their agro business. We're going to be talking about equity, angel investors, venture capital, loan, how not to get loan, how to get loans. Then again, even the loan system in Nigeria is very crazy. We're talking about 20 to 30% interest rate.
Wow.
Loan. So it's quite high. So we're trying to create platforms that young people can learn alternative means of funding. But we're going to be talking about collaboration. How do you collaborate with one another? For example, I have access to land. You have access to funds. How can we collaborate to go
Love
into
that. So
agri?
it almost could be that some of these farm families here in America may invest in these land projects where Trema and Agrovest are going to show a 40% increase in harvest yield and ideally in profit margin, and then maybe some of that investment can then be returned to the funders.
Yes, perfectly, absolutely. So that's what we're looking at. Yeah.
Awesome.
So these are the systems we want to create.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel. We'll drop a link to that upcoming webinar as well as to your fundraising campaign. And we look forward to hearing more from you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny.
Take care.
Thank you. Ma is a we call him cool boy. Cool boy because yet anger sometimes, but that one doesn't mean that he's maintain that gentility. That is his life. Thank God.